Have you ever finished your day and suddenly realized that so many small things happened, but you barely noticed them? From the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, your day is full of little stories. Today, Lily and I are going to talk about our day, the simple moments, the busy moments, and the funny things that happened along the way.
Yes, sometimes we think our day is boring, but when we start talking about it, we realize that every day has its own story. So today we're going to share our daily routines and experiences in a very natural way, just like a real conversation between friends.
So, Lily, let me start with a question. How did your day begin today?
Well, my day actually started a little later than I planned. Last night I stayed up watching some videos and I told myself I would only watch one more video, but you know how that goes. Suddenly it was very late, and when my alarm rang in the morning, I just turned it off and went back to sleep.
I think everyone has done that at least once. Sometimes the bed feels too comfortable to leave.
Exactly. So instead of waking up early like I planned, I woke up around 9 in the morning. The first thing I did was check my phone and look at some messages. After that, I slowly got out of bed and went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast.
What did you eat for breakfast?
Nothing very special. I made a quick breakfast because I was in a hurry. I ate a croissant and drank a glass of orange juice. While I was eating, I was already thinking about my classes and the things I needed to do during the day.
That sounds like a typical morning. My morning was a little different. I woke up around 7, which is my usual time. I like waking up early because the morning feels quiet and peaceful. After I woke up, I made a cup of coffee and sat near the window for a few minutes.
That actually sounds very relaxing.
It was. I like taking a few moments in the morning to wake up slowly before starting work. After finishing my coffee, I took a shower and got ready for the day. Then I checked my emails and started working on some tasks on my laptop.
Were you busy today?
Yes, quite busy actually. I had several emails to answer and a few small projects to finish. Sometimes working on the computer can feel a little tiring, especially when you sit for many hours.
I understand that feeling. After breakfast, I quickly got ready and went to my class. Today we talked about communication and how people interact with each other in daily life. The teacher asked us to work in small groups and practice speaking.
That's a great way to learn. Speaking with other people really helps improve language skills.
Yes, and it was actually fun. Everyone had different ideas and experiences to share. Some students talked about their daily routines, while others talked about funny things that happened to them recently.
That sounds interesting. After my morning work, I decided to take a short break. I went outside for a walk because the weather was really nice today. The sun was shining and there was a cool breeze, so it felt refreshing.
Walking outside always helps me clear my mind. After my class finished, I met a friend for lunch. We went to a small cafe near the campus. It's a quiet place where students often go to relax and talk.
What did you order?
I ordered a chicken sandwich and a salad. We stayed there for almost an hour talking about our studies, our future plans, and even some funny memories from last semester.
That sounds like a great afternoon. My afternoon was a little more calm. I continued working for a while, and later I decided to organize my desk and clean my room a little. Sometimes cleaning your space makes you feel more productive.
I agree. A clean space makes it easier to concentrate. After lunch, I went to the library to study. I have an exam coming soon, so I wanted to review my notes and prepare properly.
Was the library crowded?
Not really. It was actually very quiet. That's one of the reasons I like studying there. At home, there are too many distractions like the TV or my phone.
That's very true. In the evening, I started thinking about dinner. Instead of ordering food, I decided to cook something simple. I made pasta with vegetables and chicken. It took some time, but it was worth it.
Cooking can be relaxing sometimes. In my case, my family decided to order food from a restaurant tonight. So we all sat together at the table and talked about our day.
Family dinners are always nice because everyone shares their stories from the day.
Yes, and sometimes the conversations become very funny. After dinner, I spent some time organizing my bag and preparing for tomorrow. I like writing a small list of things I need to do the next day.
That's a very good habit. Planning ahead helps reduce stress.
Exactly. And now I'm just relaxing and talking with you.
Same here. Talking about our day like this actually makes us realize how many small moments happen in one single day. You know, Lily, something interesting happens when we talk about our day like this. At first, it feels like nothing special happened, but when we start remembering the details, we realize the day was actually full of small moments.
That's very true. Sometimes the small moments are actually the best ones. For example, today when I was sitting in the cafe with my friend, we started talking about our childhood memories. At first, we were just talking about school, but suddenly the conversation became very funny because we remembered some silly things we did when we were younger.
Those kinds of conversations are the best. They start simple, but they slowly become deeper and more interesting. Did you stay in the cafe for a long time?
Yes, longer than we planned actually. We thought we would stay for maybe 20 minutes, but we ended up talking for almost an hour. Time passes very quickly when you enjoy the conversation.
That reminds me of something that happened to me this afternoon. When I went for my walk, I met a neighbor outside my building. At first, we just said hello, but then we started talking about the weather, then about work, and then about travel. Before I realized it, we had been talking for almost half an hour.
That's funny. Sometimes the best conversations happen unexpectedly.
Exactly. And those small interactions make the day feel more alive. If you spend the whole day alone working or studying, the day can feel very long.
Yes, human interaction really changes the mood of the day. That's why I enjoy my classes even when they are difficult. Talking with classmates makes the experience more enjoyable.
Speaking of difficult things, did you study a lot today in the library?
Yes, I studied for about 2 hours. At first, it was a little difficult to focus because I was tired, but after some time, I started concentrating better. I reviewed my notes and tried to understand the most important points for the exam.
That's a good strategy. Studying a little every day is better than studying everything at the last minute.
Exactly. I learned that lesson the hard way last semester. I waited too long to prepare for an exam, and the night before the exam, I was extremely stressed.
I think many students can relate to that situation. Planning ahead really helps reduce that stress.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to be more organized now. After I came home today, I also cleaned my desk and organized my books. It may seem like a small thing, but it actually makes me feel more motivated to study.
I completely agree. A clean and organized space can change your mood. When everything around you is messy, it's harder to focus.
Exactly. After organizing my desk, I felt more relaxed. Then I spent a little time listening to music while resting.
Music is a great way to relax after a busy day. What kind of music do you usually listen to?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I listen to calm music when I want to relax, and other times I listen to more energetic music when I need motivation.
That makes sense. Music can really influence how we feel.
So, Mark, now that your day is almost finished, what do you usually do before going to sleep?
Usually, I try to disconnect from my phone and computer for a while. I might read a few pages of a book or just sit quietly and think about the day. It helps my mind relax before sleeping.
That's a very healthy habit. Many people stay on their phones until the last minute before sleeping.
Yes, and that can make it harder to sleep well. I try to create a calm routine at night.
I should probably start doing that too. Sometimes I stay on my phone too long, and then I realize it's already very late.
We all do that sometimes. The important thing is trying to create better habits little by little.
That's true. When I think about today, it wasn't an extraordinary day, but it was still a good day. I learned something in class, spent time with a friend, studied a little, and relaxed with my family.
And that's actually what most days are like. They're not always dramatic or exciting, but they're full of meaningful moments.
Exactly. And when we take a moment to talk about our day, we start appreciating those moments more.
That's a great point. Appreciating the simple things is very important.
So if someone listening to us right now wants to practice English, one simple exercise is to talk about their day. Just describe what you did from morning to evening.
Yes, it's a great way to practice speaking naturally because you're talking about real experiences.
And you don't need a complicated topic. Your daily life is already a story.
Exactly. Every day has a beginning, a middle, and an ending.
Just like a small story.
Well, Lily, it looks like our day is finally coming to an end.
Yes, and it was really nice talking about it together.
Same here. Conversations like this remind us to slow down and reflect on our day.
And hopefully our listeners enjoyed this conversation and learned some useful English expressions.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.